We are live. Hello, everybody. Sorry, we are a few minutes late. Lisa from South Florida and Alicia from South Carolina. How is everybody today?
What a wonderful, wild, weird world we are in.
Yes, yes, yes. The weather is very beautiful, though. Great energy. I just went for a 10-mile bike ride. It was
amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful. So today we are going to be talking about how you know you have risen above the matrix. And we're going to refer maybe to the movie The Matrix with Neo and Morpheus. And all of our videos, since Alicia and I started this show, we've been doing it in a way where the energies are changing. And, you know, everything changes every day. And we're progressing into this time and space reality right now. And all we have is now. Right? There is no time. It's just the perception that we have in this grand illusion that we live in called planet Earth. So today we're going to talk about how you know you have risen out of the matrix. So for me, and again, Alicia and I share from our experience, and everything is our opinion. And truthfully, I know how I feel. And hi, Henry. I know how I feel. Alicia knows how she feels. And honestly, I don't know how a lot of other people in the world feel, because my attention is not on that. My attention is not on the mainstream. It's on me being productive, how I can assist others to rise into their own truth and their own consciousness and their own vibration. And because of that level of that truth that started really for me years ago, but really hooked in last year. Great, thanks, Henry. I have felt like, you know, we have these dimensions, 3D, 4D, 5D. That's what you hear. And of course, there's more. There's more. So 3D is basically, you know, the world we live in, the stuff that we are being told. 4D is awakening, starting to question, right? It's like, to me, it's a space. It's like a space between this period over here of going with the flow, not awakening, being part of the crowd, doing what you're told. I'm not good enough. I better do this or I'm going to be in trouble, and not questioning. And the fourth is a bridge of starting to awaken, starting to know what made
like an airport. It's an airport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. And the fifth, you know, is higher levels of consciousness and that feeling of freedom and bliss. So the fourth is in the middle. So I know for myself, you know, we shift all the time. We shift. We still have life to live. We have bills to pay, you know, relationships, things like that. But it does, for me, it doesn't go down as far. And the fourth is allowing that bridge, because I used to get a lot of anxiety in my gut when the shift would be like this. So for me, that fourth is, you know, in the middle for doing that. So, you know, levels of consciousness, you know, and I really tried to think about it, and I know you'll put more light on this, is how this state really is, because it's so quantum that to put it into words, there really is not a lot of words. It's just a state of being and you becoming in this now present moment, to me. And really, it's being able to, we're having a lot of energies coming in to assist us through this ascension process. Whether or not you're aware of it, we are all receiving these energies. And it's to everybody's state of consciousness of how you are feeling with them, right? I just got done my bike ride, so I'm messy. I'm so sweaty right now. Hi, Andrea. So, okay, so that's why I'm a little fidgety. I'm very hot. Okay, so, all right, so with these energies, all right, it's allowing us to have these remembrances, right? These memories, past, present, maybe future, in our dreams, in our daily life, day to day. We're starting to see synchronicities happen when you are aware that there are shifts and changes happening. The state of consciousness is a place where you have this knowing and can trust your intuition that who you are and question and maybe doubt some present circumstances, to realize that there are psychic ties and toxic things that we've had in our lives for many, 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 many years, and to realize that these things may not be good, and to feel strong enough in your truth to say, I don't like this anymore. I don't believe in this anymore. I don't want this in my life anymore. And with that realization, which is really the beginning, and you hear us, we've been talking about doing our shadow work, is knowing what's good for me, knowing what makes me feel good, what makes me feel happy, what brings the joy. And is when those ties of the unhealthiness can be released, then you're in a position to allow these higher states of consciousness with more remembrance, to live in a way knowing that we have total freedom. I put a picture of Neo, just holding, the energy back, because we all have that. It's a perception. For me, I feel like I have let go of so much that I don't feel burdened. I don't feel heaviness. I don't feel conflict. There's a lot of these lower things that I don't hold anymore. And I was, gave this example of if somebody's grabbing you and you're trying to release from them and they're trying to hold you down, I feel like the way I can put it is that I just kick them away and I'm moving up and they're bye-bye and they're falling. So it's a release. It's a release. And then I'm going to open this to you. When you feel like you are unattached to whatever happens, we talk about open to everything, attached to nothing, and you don't feel that, then you know that you have risen above the matrix. And the matrix, if you relate back, and I'm going to have you share about the movie also, the world is the way we world. The world is the way that it is. And, we've been indoctrinated into these systems, health system, school system, medical system, political system, that we were told what to do, and it wasn't our choice, right? And a lot of it is untruth. So it's up to us to know what is truth, and having the courage to evaluate your life, because things are different, and to let go of the going along with and honoring your self-respect and what's good for you, and to know that it's okay to speak up and be your truth and be different. And we each have unique gifts, and we're really here to help each other become in unity. And we've not been a unified world, and everybody can admit to that, right? It's just having maybe a little bit of those pain points that are uncomfortable to realize. But the other side is wonderful. So I'm going to open this to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. And when I think about the Matrix, sometimes it can be like, what's that? Like, what's that? The 3D? Because we've been too close to the forest to see the trees. The Matrix is the world that's been pulled over our eyes, where it's not the real world. It's what we've been made to think. And we've all been domesticated. It's part of what happens here. We're domesticated, indoctrinated, taught that we are a certain thing, that our history is a certain thing. And when you begin to look at it, a lot of that is up for debate, is up for question. And that's part of the 4D, the questioning, beginning to realize, wait, this doesn't make sense. Okay, we're the most technologically advanced we've ever been, and yet we can't replicate the pyramids. There's all of these megalith, huge monuments, huge buildings all over the world that we can't replicate now with our technology, but we're supposedly the most advanced. So you start to notice some of these holes in the story and start to question, and that begins to bring you up to that next level. And the 5D world as it truly is. Like, there are places that you can go on the physical earth to tap into that 5D, the real world, just like that. And it's found in nature. You want to know what that connection, that energy, that love, that unity, what that feels like. Going to nature can help you get that, help you get there, help you feel that. Because all of our buildings, the cities especially, where buildings are no longer made to be beautiful, they're not made in harmonious design. Cities stagnate your energy. They're designed in a specific way to bring the frequency down, where that's why you feel so different seaside or out in the woods versus in a city. And that's by design. They want people in cities by design, easier to control, easier to manipulate the energy. Because if everybody had their own green grass and were growing things and getting adequate sunshine, it doesn't allow that same control. And that's what the 3D is about. You know, you're a consumer, you're a citizen. This is what you do. You go to school for this many years, then you get a job, then you get married, then this and that is life. No questions asked, because this is what you're told. This is the script you're given. This is the story, plot, and how you're supposed to act. And then you start to realize, like, wait, this doesn't feel good. And I've been deconditioned away from my own internal.
And what about the Social Security numbers?
Oh my goodness, we're traded on the stock exchange. So that's a whole other story. But our energy is being taken from us in so many ways. And part of that transition, 3D to 5D, is owning your energy, being connected with your internal source of power, your own internal source of energy. Like, I don't have to get in the ring with you to try to steal your power because I don't have enough and scarcity. No, that's very, very 3D. The crony capitalism, 3D, beliefs about money and having to work hard, all 3D. It doesn't have to be this way. We've just been told this is what it is for so long. And if a message is repeated often enough, with enough certainty, people believe it. But people are beginning to see more and more, wait, no, this illusion is beginning to crumble. And the more you're connected with the real, the more you're able to see, like, this is fake. This is very weird. Like, a few weeks back, we went to Philadelphia for a 2-day visit. I felt like I was like on a movie set, just with how artificial everything felt. And the energy difference between Charleston, South Carolina and Philly, night and day. Like, energetically, one feeling like crawling through an oil slick, just heavy density, the people not friendly, just closed off, everything really guarded, like that fight or flight feeling. That's very 3D, very 3D. Compared to Charleston, where strangers will smile at you and wish you good morning when you're out walking. The sun's shining, the energy, so much better. The buildings are even painted, more vibrantly and brighter here. The buildings are beautiful here, where there are some in Philadelphia, but not like here. It's apples and bowling balls. And that feeling, you'll feel it, you'll know. Especially once you've been able to tap into some of those higher states and have that awareness, that valuable contrast, those feelings of peace out in nature. Yeah. And then going to a city, being able to feel that energy difference. It's like, ugh. And with things like meditation and these different energy techniques and practices that Lisa and I use, we're able to mitigate some of that, where even in very 3D situations, spaces, places with people, we're able to mitigate some of that. But the more time you spend in 4 and 5, the more uncomfortable 3D becomes.
Yes. And Henry put the veil is lifting. And, the veil is lifted, I believe. I mean, it's to the place, and we've been talking about this before, when you have a question or you are indecisive or you have doubt, all you need to do, and I'm talking about our audience and everybody, is ask. tap in and ask, you know, the question that you have, and you're going to get an answer.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's so the veil, you know, yes, it is very thin when you're talking about this heaviness and the energy. The more that you can feel that density and the polarity of that, you know that, you know, what are you going to do not to feel that? And ascension symptoms are going to be coming in. You know, people, you know, and I always say, you know, talk to your doctor if you're feeling anything, but there's a lot of upgrades for the nervous system, the heart, you know, third eye, pressure, sinus. I mean, anything that you can imagine is coming in, you know, and when you look at those symptoms and you feel it, you know that you're on the verge of moving through to these higher states of consciousness, because we have the 12 strands, we're 2 strands of DNA, the rest is junk DNA, right? So these, as we're moving up and we're talking about ascension, they're activating us, right? We have these abilities. We have intuitive abilities. We have so much creativity. We have so much intuition. We have ability to be telepathic. We have these synchronicities where miracles and manifestations can occur, right? So all these things, like the veil is lifted, they're right here for us, right? But it's getting rid of that cognitive dissonance right here. You know, so working through, as we've talked about in all our lives and our lives that we've done, is like you mentioned, meditation, nature, drink good water, stay away from processed foods.
All the things I'm mandating.
Right. Alcohol. I saw that your post. That was great. You know, and be natural and listen to what your body is desiring. Follow your intuition. So if you're looking for weight loss to be healthy, just listen to what your body needs, because there could be some minerals that you need, some nutrition that you need. Maybe there is some kind of, like, you do need a carb that day for whatever reason, right? Just start honing into your intuition of what is true for you, right? And in the beginning, if it was a little sketchy for some people, for me, it's difficult to explain that feeling. It's just unknowing. You know, I've done this work since the 80s. Right? I've done coaching since the 80s. I've done my own path since the 80s. 80 seems so long ago. My birthday is on Friday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Amazing. So, you know, but I was on that path for a reason. And don't be like, for myself, you know, I'm doing the light language and I'm doing channeling and I'm doing card readings and stepping into my leadership in this, you know, in attracting people that are on the same mission, the same path, because it's easy. It's easy to do that, but those are the gifts that I have. But in the past, it's like, what are they going to say? Or what are they going to think about me? And I'm going to be judged and blah, 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 blah. None of that matters, right? We have to step into our own gifts, our own spiritualities, our own truth, and our own knowing. Because when we shine our light, it's going to shine the light on those people that are not there yet. We're all going to be moving together. We're all going to be moving together at different points. You know, whatever this choice is for each individual, you know, whatever that choice they made is, you know, that's perfect for them. But it's to the point where the world is changing. It is that love, harmony, peace, you know, Godspell and Age of Aquarius song, you know, that's all true. That's here. We live in that now. In 2020, I was living in that peace and harmony. I did not feel all the distractions. I did not feel that nastiness, chaos that apparently was going out there, right?
And this is what I mean when I say that I'm playing a completely different game. We're playing a completely different game.
And everybody's
a lot of the world.
Yeah, it's the perception.
And
You froze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we talked about it's the perception. It's just your perception, right? And things are overlaid right now on Earth. You know, some people will be seeing something and some people will be seeing another thing. Right? That's the energies, right? Frequency, vibration, and energy. Nikola Tesla, you know, 369. And what would be good too is, you know, just keep on 432 hertz on YouTube, 528, 396 to decrease blockages while you're sleeping, while you're doing anything, because it keeps your body into that resonance. Because whether you agree with any of this, we're moving.
We are.
We are moving, and nothing is stopping this ascension. And we all chose to come here to work through this, right? We are moving. This is history. This is history. And the fact that we're having this conversation, yes, Andrea. And some of these conversations I'm having with people, even people I grew up with, having these conversations from high school with, it's like, it's sci-fi. It's seriously like a sci-fi movie. It's like,
where do you think they got it all?
Right, exactly. But this is reality. There is no normal. No. It is no, it's different now. Things have changed. Things are not going to be the same. Ever. If you go get this thing here, things are not going to be the same.
Ever.
Right? Trust your gut. Trust your truth. Right? Focus on who you resonate with. There's a lot of people talking about a lot of things out there. Honor your heart. If it makes you feel good, keep it. If it doesn't, don't, because there's a lot of disinformation, and a lot of it is meant to keep everybody in disharmony, right? And a lot of things we don't know what the absolute, we have inklings of what plans could be happening, but it's not known because it can't be known because the shift has to happen. Things have to fall, right? Cabal has to fall. Was that a good word to say? That was a hard word on this phone. Okay. So, just trust, because maybe what you're told isn't true. And if it doesn't feel good, look up, like, why am I doing this? Like, what, why? Right. Right. So just honor yourself. That's all I'm saying. Stay in your peace and balance and honor your feelings, because I see too, it's, you can have this peace, right? I see more people that are coming to me and attracting to me. So I know that there's something that I'm resonating that they like, which is good. That's humble. It's not like tutu, but again, I don't know what the media and the news and this and the people that are wearing this thing all the time, I don't know how they feel. And I don't care how they feel, right? As long as I can be somebody that's going to be there and shine with my energy vibrating, with my thoughts, right? Looking with empathy and compassion and love, right? That's the biggest thing that's going to make the shift for them. It's that energy and that frequency, right? These words are going to go upon deaf ears. It's past that point of no return, right? Do you have any last things that you want to say with that? Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to, because we've said it a couple times with like dropping in and asking. And we did this earlier when you and I were chatting. One really powerful way to drop in, where you're like, okay, I hear you say drop in, but how do we drop in to ask? Like, what's a good way to do that? And one thing that I had Lisa do earlier is close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and then ask the question that you're seeking guidance on. And that does a few things. So closing your eyes brings you into your body. Putting your hand on your heart drops you into that place of oneness, unity consciousness in your heart. So you're out of the brain and the duality consciousness, good, bad, right, wrong, thoughts, ping-ponging back and forth. Close your eyes, hand on the heart. Ask your question from here. And that's one way to really tune in, sink in, and when it comes to asking, trust the first thing that comes up. Because especially if you've been very active up here and you're not doing a meditation or much to keep this space clean, when you close your eyes and ask, something will come up, and then you'll hear another voice start saying something else. That first softer voice is soul, higher source, higher self, God. It's always a softer, more subtle knowing that's more patient, versus the ego is always like urgent, got to do it right now. Like, pull you out of the present, got to do this right now. Like, that's ego energy, like very frantic, frenetic. But soul is much softer, subtle, yet like it's a subtle strength. So
that's absolutely great. That's great. And Henry said a longer breath cycle is essential. Yes. Absolutely. And Henry also said I was saying before, we share the stage, but see many different plays. Exactly. Right. And that's what we were talking about this morning as well. Right, Henry? That's exactly true. That's,
yeah, because based off of your frequency, it determines what you see. Based off of signal you're putting out is the signal you get back. And you think about it, because we see like less than 1/100th of like the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So you changing your frequency a little bit is like turning that dial a little bit, and you have access to a completely different bandwidth, completely different life experience.
exactly. Exactly. And now, yes, yes. And the energies are so, when you were talking about your mind going like this, I know a lot of people have shared, there's more thoughts that are coming in at once than usual, where you can be very centered and calm. I know that even happened for me. I usually am a one kind of a thought person, right, in the moment, in the now, and then all of a sudden there's like a lot of things at once, right? Because there are a lot of nervous system upgrades, and there are some people that have mentioned having like some neurological symptoms. You know, again, speak to your doctor, but you have to do that physical if you're comfortable with it, if you're not in that space of knowing and trusting with the holistic yet, and then you'll be able to find it. And again, we are here for you. There's other people here for you, but Alicia and I, this is our mission, right? This is our movement. We are in love with assisting you to raise your levels of consciousness to the best of our ability, to help you let go of the fear, to help you let go of things that don't serve you anymore. Whether, just talking it out or vibrational work, chakra work, whatever it is, we are here for this. This is why we're doing this. We are with you all the way.
This is why we signed up for this whole mission.
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So thank you all for listening. I'm going to do a little light language now. I'm just going to, I'm feeling I want to do something healing. I want to just do a healing for the collective right now. Okay. So everybody sit back, take a deep breath, take another deep breath. And one more deep breath from your gut. Sinatiti talia nasakatoya nasatapaya nasakita shiniati alaya nasapo doya nasati nasakatadoshkinia na nasaya la nasapotishikinia na nasaskinia takriata groshkinia papasakania takroshki taka. Groshkiniata groshkiniaka kakasekeniota kapashakati holiana sakiti kodoshkiniaka rashkiniata groshkiniata papakatiata ko holiana sakatiata groshkiniata groshkinia papatakaniashka itaina Ayalaya nasakataye natikiapa dosh. Okay. That was very releasing. I felt a big release with that. There was a lot of pent up emotion and blocks. And I felt that as a collective. So what that did, I felt like a release, a little bit of movement again with the cerebral spinal fluid, but a release down, out the root. So thank you all for joining us. And we hope you have an awesome week. And, focus on yourself and your peace and your joy. Drink plenty of water. Look at your nutrition, honor your intuitive cravings, and, it's always good to be prepared,
And turn off the little black boxes, all of them. Yeah. More of those off.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, everybody have a great day.
Bye.
Thanks, Henry. Thanks, Andrea. Okay, bye-bye.